Hello Grebos and Spartans, and welcome to the second part of our mods tier list. I'm here with DLC, say hi man.
Hello mate, I sound like Schmidto now, don't I?
Oh, please ignore that. Anyway, we're going to start with the rest of the 10 mods that we didn't feature in the last video, and these are still some good ones, so don't worry, we didn't leave all the bad ones for last. We do have some very good ones coming up. Anyway, let's jump straight into it. Obviously, we've changed map, and I think that fits for a second part of another video. Let's go. So, what do we have for our first mod, man?
Well, friends, get ready to open those eyes, because first on today's list is eye animation.
Okay, so eye animation, if I remember correctly, is more of a quality of life kind of immersion mod, you know? It really makes you feel... what's the name for it?
Like a murderer?
Yeah, I was going to say it's more of an immersive mod, but I'll allow you to have that one.
Okay, good.
So, normally you can't really tell when NPCs are dead when they lie on the floor unless they make their death sound effects, but with this mod, they should close their eyes when they die, which means you can kind of tell instantly when they die, and it really helps if you're combining that with the mod we showed earlier in the last video, Sorcery, when sometimes they will fake their death. They will not close their eyes if they fake death. So that is something to keep an eye out for. Yeah,
it's funny that this is a mod because it used to be like a normal feature, and like what U7 had.
Yes,
they would close their eyes. It's funny that it's a mod.
Yeah, so I think it's because they completely reworked the character system. So they kind of had to remove the eye animations for a bit while they worked on other things, and I think that's completely understandable, to be fair. But I agree. I think it's strange that they decided to not add it back in, and that it had to be a mod. But considering it is a mod, I'm happy. I think it's very nice and immersive. What do you think, man? It's a very simple mod. Where do you think we should put that? I'd have to agree with you, because I'm sure even Husky would agree with us there, that it is a very simple mod. I'm failing at dagger throws, but yeah, it's not exactly one of the best, highest, most complicated mods. It's just kind of very nice to have.
Yeah, still a great mod. It's good.
Okay, what do we have next, bro?
Well. What we have next, all you hunters out there, is called the Bloodborne Hunter Arsenal.
Okay, so if anyone knows me, you may have heard me say that Bloodborne is my favorite game of all time, and that is not said easily. I have a lot of very high quality games that I really enjoy, and that is so stuck. But I absolutely love Bloodborne. I think it's got the best theme to it, and to have the weapons from the game in Blade and Sorcery is fantastic. And the fact that they completely transform is awesome. I love it. I mean, there are some incredibly complex transformations. Some of them are a little hard to do sometimes. So I'm going to try and demonstrate a couple, and then we'll make a rating on that. So I think my favorite one, and you might agree, is the Holy Moonlight Sword. Now, I think, DLC, did they have this transformation when you last used the mod in U7?
I don't think there was a transformation, but it had, like, the other stuff.
Because you can now do that.
Right? How sexy is that?
And
so good.
Something really cool is if I put this away a second, it will actually transform back. But if we grab ourselves an equipment pouch, put that on our side, and grab ourselves some bullets, and put some bullets away in the pouch. I think they're going away. I'm going to assume they are. And if we now light up our Moonlight Sword again, and we hold this, you can actually... it's very hard to do, but you can do the moves with the sword that you can do in-game, and I think that is so cool.
So cool. So cool.
Especially the fact that it really slices is so damn awesome, man. You can even dismember with it. Very difficult to aim. Once you get the hang of it, it's awesome. And there are so many awesome weapons like that. A personal favourite might actually be the Boom Hammer. Now, a lot of people who've played the DLC should know the Boo Hammer, and it's fantastic. And here's why it's fantastic. That didn't boom. Why did that not
Boom him, bro.
Okay, maybe okay, so we're gonna smack him right in the back of the head with the boom hammer.
Oh!
And it does a lot of damage. And you can just pull that back and go for the next one. That one maybe not as hard, because you've got to really hit square on this one. Like that. But it's so
now
cool.
You should show them a gun. Let's take a look at one
Absolutely.
gun, and then we'll rate this bad boy.
Absolutely. Now, I'm going to actually pull out 2 guns at once, just to demonstrate them at the same time. So, everyone should know the Gatling gun, and I'm going to combine it with my most used weapon as a secondary, as a strength build. That's the cannon. So the cannon is amazing, and the Gatling gun is amazing. Now, just watch what this can do. It's insta-kill everyone. It's kind of insane. So, where do you think we should put this for being a complex weapon mod?
Schmidt. I honestly, I mean, I do love Bloodborne. I love Dark Souls. I mean, I wouldn't go back and constantly play them, but I want to give credit where credit is due. And I feel like this one should go in like the legendary tier. Like, I don't know about you, but to me, the animations, what they do, the love that's put into it, all the models, I feel like that's legendary.
I really think so as well. I think just with some of the transformations, like this, just looks so damn like authentic to the game, which is incredibly hard to do, considering these aren't ripped models. These are, as far as I can tell, modeled by the person who makes the mod. I think that's awesome. So yeah, I've got to say I agree, legendary, 100%. There's no way it can't be. There's just so many awesome weapons in this pack, and for anyone who loves that kind of gothic fantasy, you're gonna love it. Alright man, what do we have to show off next?
Well, moving on is something that makes the world changes when the Fire Nation attacked, and that's Earthbending.
Oh wow, okay. So Earthbending, if you guys have been around for a while, you might recognize it from, I think it was 8.3 or 8.4 beta. Can't quite remember exactly, but let's grab Earthbending and show off some moves. So first of all, obviously, we have the standard rock summoning, where you pull up and you summon rocks.
I love it. I love the way it looks when you pull rocks up.
Punch rocks, and it sends them at a very high speed towards enemies. Like that. I think that is fucking awesome. As well as that, we have some other abilities. So, why don't we summon a few dummies to demonstrate these on? So we have the Earth Spikes, which are just crazy. So you can actually summon walls like this, and you can punch the wall to send it flying into enemies. And I think you can do that multiple times. Oh, it does break.
I like using the walls. I like to make multiple walls and like inconvenience the NPC's day. I'm like, wall in your face. It's so fun.
That's very true. I love to do that kind of thing. It's so cool. The amount of versatility this has to be knocked around. And you can just keep knocking that. I think it takes a while to despawn, so you can really mess around with this mod in whatever way you want to. And I'm really struggling to hit this NPC. It didn't collide. Oh well, let's just rain death.
Wow, you casted everything at once. You just broke your whole
I
computer.
really did. That was very cool, and my frame rate dropped to hell. But I think for the amount of different ways you can use this spell, I think it was the first multiple use spell and one of the biggest, most complex spells of its time, and now it's updated to U10. We can have a lot more fun with it, right? So what do you think about
I think
Earthbending?
before we rate it, I want to show one of my favorite ones. Yes, you can merge this with fire and lightning, and we're not going to ruin that for you. But what I want you to do is go ahead and take your dagger out.
Oh. Well, I actually don't have a dagger on me right now, so I'll be right back with the dagger.
And this is where we put in dagger.
Sin, give me a dagger. Sin, give me common dagger. Damn it! I was really hoping that would work. I just can't bother walking here. Okay, cool. Got the dagger.
Now that you have the dagger, why don't you go ahead and imbue it with your earth power? Yeah. Oh, now go ahead and spawn one of those loser guys. Now that's an imbued. I want you to stab that loser guy in the head with your imbued dagger. Put it in slow-mo so it looks all great. Oh, no. Look, you can turn them into rock monsters. This is my favorite feature of it, honestly. You stab them, and it turns them into rock people. It's amazing.
That is pretty damn cool. We actually have a rock arm down here. That's crazy. So I remember when this mod was back in 8.4 beta, I actually edited the files and gave it a green imbue effect, which I think should still be added. I think it would look very cool to have green imbue on the Earth. But I think I love the particle effects. They look great. So
now is the time to rate this bad boy. And I would be remiss if I also didn't put this in the legendary category.
For when it was made and what it is, I'd have to agree. Legendary is definitely where it has to be. If this mod had been released just now, comparing it to the rest of Linicas, I don't think I would put it in Legendary. But just because of when it was made and what it was when it was made, I have to completely agree with you there.
Word up.
What are we showing off next?
Well, friends, are you feeling too big or too small? Is the world around you too big and too small? Not a problem, because next up is scale.
Now, from what I remember from scale, you can scale literally anything. So let's just spawn a nice dummy here. And if you ever wanted to just really be done with them and just crush them to death, well, now you can. Look how cute this little guy is.
He's like a little action figure. Oh!
And yeah, you can dispose of them pretty easily. So, not only that, you could also, if you really want to, fight a giant.
Make them big boys. And look, the weapon scales with them also.
The weapon scaled a little too much. That's kind of terrifying. Let's grab a weapon and try and fight him.
That weapon looks too dainty. Maybe you should scale the weapon.
That's a very good idea. I like that. Whoa.
I like it when you're using scale, the weapon gets affected by weight also, so it's not just like a scaled version of like the hand axe. It's like, oh damn, I have this giant axe now.
It's very hard to do any damage to him.
The sword is keeping him up. Literally, his weapon is stopping him from falling. That is amazing. You can also make the common dagger into like a little toothpick and then like toothpick them. It's so
That's
funny.
very true. Let's
I don't think you can scale them once they're dead.
Oh, he is dead.
Oh yeah, he's big dead.
I can drag him around when he's dead though. Oh Christ. That's crazy. Okay, let's do what you said. Let's get a dagger and turn it into a little toothpick. Because yes, you can scale anything. So, let's grab a dagger. There we go. So put it on the table and scale it down.
Now, what you're doing, two hands will actually, you can scale things with one hand also, which is pretty cool.
Oh, you're right. So we
usually
have
two
our
hands is
little...
when you want to scale a person. Yeah, look, you just ruined that guy's life. He's like, no, I'm a doll. But you need, if you want to scale him back up, you'll need two hands.
Ah. He doesn't
I don't think you had the spell select.
I thought I did.
Ah!
That's the wrong one! Okay. So he's fine how he is. Let's use our little toothpick.
Toothpick him, bro.
I think it worked.
So he's pretty violent.
I think it worked. Yeah! So, you can absolutely scale anything with this mod, and I think that is what makes it so cool. And I think it was one of Linica's first most revolutionary mods. So, what do you think, man? Where's this got to go?
I mean, if you ask me again, I'm probably going to throw this one in Legendary.
Oh, do I agree? for
If you
the
don't
amount
agree,
of
Lineker is going to ban
usability.
you from his Discord. So
Lineker would never ban me. But okay, I think I have to agree. You know, I think it was one of Lineker's first mods that got him really noticed in the community, and for me, it's awesome. Look at this stupid stuff you can do with it. It's crazy.
boom,
I love
scale mod in legendary.
it. Absolutely. What are we showing off next, dude?
Well, well, well. Have you ever accidentally killed your friend? I'm sure you have. Maybe someone's died. But don't worry, because we are about to show you Soulfire.
Absolutely. So let's find Soulfire on our menu. So, from what I remember, Soulfire actually has a really nice effect to start, and it can be controlled just like the fireball. Now, we have a nice dead human right here. Not
Yeah,
sure
he's
why
big
I
dead.
said a dead human was nice, but it's just for an example. So, say this is my buddy and I accidentally killed him. We could just whip up some Soulfire, hit him with it, and he's good as new. Who needs
that
health
he just
insurance,
wakes up
right?
like, what the hell just happened to me?
Who needs health insurance when you have Soulfire? You can just... The great thing is you can just kill your friend and revive them for fun.
You can even chop their arm off. Oh, no, I think he bled out the second he got up. He's like, oh my god.
So, yeah, like DLC said, I could just cut his arm off. He will die, and I can bring him back to life. Unfortunately, with U10, the arms tend to come back up with them sometimes.
Not
Like
if you
that.
have non-snapping limbs installed. Bum, bum,
Good
bum, bum.
point. So, Soulfire. Before we move on, does it actually do damage to enemies? Because I don't know.
Wait, there's another thing you could do with it. So they don't have to be dead. You can cast it on them and hit them and turn them into an ally. And you can
Ah.
also imbue the weapon, and anyone you slash or stab also becomes your friend.
Ah, okay, so let's try that out. So, this guy is currently not a friend. If we imbue with Soulfire, which I've got to say I really like the effect for. If we just... I think we killed him.
Yeah, he's dead.
Okay, so let's spawn this guy, hit him with the fireball, and he should now get up as an ally, which is damn awesome. I like how it changes everything to blue on them as well, and that's really cool. So, I think, like you said, if we stab them...
Look, he's blue now. You stabbed him. He's like, oh, thanks, Dad.
I mean, he died, but he is my ally.
Yeah, he's a dead ally.
So you have to stab them with the imbued weapon, which I think is a very interesting mechanic I've not really seen before in a
Well,
mod.
I think it's funny that you're giving them like a fatal stab. You're like, ah, completely through your lungs. Like, you could just poke them with it, too.
That's true, and it does work. Now, unfortunately, in my opinion, I don't have use for allies. But maybe you do. Anyway, where do we think we should put this mod?
I think Soulfire is a cool mod. I think it hits our list, and I think it's a good mod. You know, there's probably more that can be done with it, but I definitely think that this is a good mod.
I have to agree with you there. We actually have a merge for this. What does that do?
It turns all of everyone, it resurrects everyone.
Oh, I like that. Okay, so that's
I
actually
like
bumped
it
it up a
also.
little bit more for me. That's kind of like a Mercy res from the old Mercy before rework in Overwatch.
So
I
what
really
you're
like
saying
that.
is you want to bring that into great?
Ah.
Ah,
Oh, I'd say it's bottom of great considering the rest of the mods we have on the list, but it's still great.
I bumped it up to great just for you, buddy.
Fantastic. And what do we have to show off next?
Well, 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 my Dante'd friends. Have you ever wanted the devil to cry? Maybe you have. Well, don't worry, because next up is Yamato.
So, the Yamato is a very nice katana. I am a
Sad
big
that you
fan of
didn't
it.
spawn it with the sheath, though. Then you've already made me sad.
Oh, shit. Where does she go? So does that come with the... Okay. So, the Yamato is a very, very nice katana from Devil May Cry, and I think It's one of the most interesting weapons we've ever had come to Blade and Sorcery. Now, DLC, why don't you run us through the abilities while I demonstrate them?
Absolutely. So the first one is going to start with the shield first. So now, I'm sorry, the sheath first. The first one will start with the sheath first. Now, but actually, before you take it out, what I want you to do is look at your friend. Just stare into his eyes. And then, using the left trigger, just go ahead and squeeze the left trigger. Oh my God, you threw a dagger into his heart. Yeah, so you can absolutely do that. Now, what also I want you to do is, I think it's, you press the spell use button with your right hand. Try that one. Maybe it's your left hand. Yeah, keep pressing it. So, well, yeah, you're supposed to turn off fall damage.
Okay, yeah, so guys, tip number 1 when using this sword. Get rid of fall damage. You don't want to die like that. So, let's get that back and give this another go. Now, what other abilities do we have to show?
Well, I do want to show you something, but also I want to give praise to this one for U10 because it does something on purpose, but also on accident. So keep pressing the spell use button with your left hand, and you can phase through solid objects.
Oh, wow.
You'll also know phasing through solid object is very important in U10 because U10 added a lot of invisible like collision marks where you can't go past a lot of things, especially in the dungeon. This lets you do it. You can phase right through walls, right through whatever you want, and you can just like go wherever, blow through the map boundaries.
Oh yeah, you're right about that. Wow.
Just be careful. It's a little bit of a throw-up simulator. So if you're, not that good in VR, don't do what Schmidto's doing.
Absolutely. Bad idea.
Oh. All right. So now go ahead and unsheath that sword. Yeah. Now, while you're swinging, go ahead and hold the trigger down in your right hand. And swing that back. Now, you don't have to... Well, you can do that, but just go ahead and swing it right now. Laser beam. Yeah, So that thing straight up wrecks people, and it goes based on the angle of how you slice also, which is pretty cool.
That's really cool. So let's give that a quick go trying to hit this guy over here.
Good luck.
Do I have to be closer?
No, you'll get it. I trust you. Come on, Schmidt.
Dude, I'm hitting him.
Yeah, totally. Virtual desktop.
Oh!
There you go.
There we go.
All right, let me show you a couple more stuff. Go ahead and spawn a new friend. Now, the next thing is going to be Weeby. Now, go ahead and hold down the spell use button while you're using this one.
Got it. So I need to hit him?
Go ahead and just start swinging at him. Just swing appendages, hands, arms, and you'll be like, wait a minute, am I missing? I'm totally missing. But that's okay. What I want you to do is go ahead and sheath this weapon and release the spell use button at the same time.
Ooh! That is very anime. What I would love for this is like a mod that allows people to cut in half and stuff. That would be awesome.
We had one at one point, but yeah, never again.
We never know. They might eventually figure it out.
So there's also another one, and you can help me figure this one out. I've had a 0% success rate, and everyone yells at me every single time I do it. But go ahead and spawn a friend. Now, what the fell?
Okay.
So what I want you to do is go ahead and sheath and unsheath the sword, like, immediately.
Yeah?
Yeah, see, for me, it doesn't work. But, well, where you're looking, just grip and release, grip and release. Yeah, never. Oh, there it is. You did it. You did the thing.
Woo!
Finally.
I think you have to spam it.
Oh, after all these years. Yeah, so wherever you're looking while you sheath and unsheath, it will die instantaneously. So you can be like the ultimate anime person. Look at that. Isn't that insane?
So if we spawn a few guys, I wonder.
Death, 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 death.
My game!
So this is a great weapon because it is insanely OP, but if you don't know how to use it, then it's not OP. It just feels like a normal weapon.
Exactly. I think that's awesome.
You can also stab people. So go ahead and anime kill that guy. Spawn another one. So go ahead and take your blade and stab someone, and then don't pull it out yet. Now press and hold the spell use button, then pull it out. Yeah, and then you can sheath it, and anything it cuts through will then pop off.
So
Sick, right?
let's test this again with another enemy, so I can get a proper good stab here. So let's do that, and then sheath.
Right? Now that one may not have cut anything that way because it has to actually like cut someone. So if it goes across his spine and up, there's no like
Okay.
dismemberment points.
So we would do something like this, and then that.
Yeah. And
There we go.
There you go.
Awesome.
See, it really it scratches that weeby itch. So I think it's really cool. There's a lot of powers, a lot of abilities, but you need to know how to use them.
Absolutely. I think that is very cool. I can't lie to you. So
Now, someone that so if you don't use it a lot and you just got to experience a lot of the powers, where would you put it now using it?
So in my opinion, I think this katana, just for the movement and all the different abilities, I think this could be a solid middle outstanding tier.
Okay, middle outstanding. Now, I would probably put it in amazing, but I'm going to let you say outstanding for that one, and then you could fight Genix.
Don't get me wrong, it's very close. Very, very close to amazing. But I think it just slightly misses the mark for me. Personally, I think some of the visual effects could be upped a little bit. I think that's all it is. And since Genix is not a VFX modder, I don't expect that.
Yeehaw, partner! Up next is the Wild West stuff.
Hell yeah, brother! Let's check out the guns! Okay, so I'm not going to be doing that for much longer. But let's try out, first of all, the revolvers. So,
Yes.
the revolvers, you cock them back with the A button, or the equivalent on the left controller. And what I would do is just spawn out an NPC and test out these weapons. That missed! Let's give that another go. There we go. So, the fun thing about these weapons is they actually can be speed shot if you're good at it, but really it's all about learning how to aim with them is mainly what I would say is difficult. My biggest problem with this mod, I'm going to put it out there before we go even look at the second thing, is it doesn't use the new hit scan gun framework. It uses actual physical bullets, which I find, if you're close range, will just bounce off and not do anything. Unfortunately, whereas if you're at a decent range, they do damage. So that's one reason I'm not a fan. Otherwise, I think the gun's actually very nicely modeled, and they actually move very nicely as well. They work.
Like, can you hold it in two hands, though?
Can you hold it? No, you cannot.
Uh-oh, -5.
But it's one of the first guns we've had for U10, so I've got to put credit where credit's due. Now let's try the Winchester rifle. So again, the Winchester is very similar. Cock it back and fire.
Ooh, can you show us that animation of when you're reloading?
So it seems like the lever, or lever as you guys say, would pull back under here. This pulls back and the casing comes out. Let's watch that again. So the casing comes out from here, this pulls back and the lever comes down. And there is actually
like having watching a Brit explain guns to Americans. That's fun to me.
That's fair enough. I mean, to be fair, we used guns before you did. We just stopped using them.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Bang.
sure. You're pretty sure we
Come on,
invented
bang.
this gun.
Bang.
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 Bang. Yay.
Absolutely. It's always good to see Americans get excited about guns. So, where are we going to put this mod?
I think it's a functional gun and it has reload animations. But I think in order to be on this list, you have to be a good mod. And then there's different calibers of there. So because it's a good mod, I can't argue that it has to be in the good category. Like Schmidt said, it's using projectiles, not hit scan. If it was using hit scan, you'd be able to put the revolver up against people and do some meanie executions. But it does limit you because of that stuff. That's why I think it just kind of gets in that entryway.
I completely agree. I think it's just on the good level. I think because it's one of the first gun mods we've had, I think that's what excuses it. but I think later on, once Ghetto starts getting his gun stuff out, we should start to see some even more improved versions of these kind of mods. So, after that fairly short mod, what do we have coming up next?
Well, it's definitely not anything to do with Star Wars, I'll tell you that. However, up next is beam sabers.
Okay, wow, so beam sabers actually took the Nomad community by storm, and I actually think the PC version is even better. So, have you ever thought, you know, Jedi are pretty cool, but they don't really protected? Well, now you have a lightsaber shield. Have you ever wondered, why do Jedi not use axes? Now they do.
Whoa!
Have you ever wondered, what would it be like if the Grim Reaper was a goddamn Jedi? Well, my friends, I can show you exactly that.
Whoa! Everyone used to call this one the giant toothbrush when I use it. They're like, is it a toothbrush?
It does look a bit like a toothbrush. I'll give it to them. I feel like you should get the scale mod and start brushing someone's teeth.
Oh my God.
Wait.
No, I forbid this.
I do not forbid this. We have a toothbrush! That's amazing. Okay, so, we're going to take a couple of these weapons and try them out. So one of my personal favorites is obviously a red lightsaber katana. You can't go wrong with that.
You're a weeb? You got a weeby katana?
Yes. Even though I don't even like anime or anything like that. Yes, flame me in the comments, I don't care. I'm also going to take the glaive, because I love this kind of weapon. And I think, should we take a longsword, just a classic longsword, or should we take a classic lightsaber? What do you think?
I think you should actually take Wolverine claws.
Wolverine claws. Ooh, I like that idea. Let's take some yellow Wolverine claws.
So you can climb with those and also ruin people's birthdays.
Oh, you can climb with these, can't you?
Bum, 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 bum. Look at him climb. Wow.
Oh, that's so cool.
Sucks at climbing. Look how well he did.
Excuse me. That was very insulting. Anyway, let's actually spawn a one-on-one wave and give these a quick go. Are they gonna...
They're coming. They're just afraid. They're like, what the hell? Does he have a beam saber?
I feel like these guys are alive and that's why they're not. There we go. So, we should have an enemy on their way to fight me right now.
Yes. Look at that. It's so, it leaves fire marks also. It slashes. Ooh! Brutal.
Awesome. I love that. Now let's try out the glaive. Because, you know, we love some ranged weapons in here.
Absolutely. She's like, my arm! It also has very high dismemberment rate, unlike if you were using a normal glaive. So, because it's like energy based, it's insane. Stab, stab, stab. Love that.
Yeah. I am very much enjoying these weapons. And the fact they get the lightning sparks coming off when they clash is awesome. Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay. Before we get demonetized there, I think it's time to rate it. And before you say anything, I just want to put this out there. I want to ask you a question. Why did you put the medieval mega pack in legendary?
I put it in legendary because it's classic and because it has such a variety of weapons. There's not really a... you can't download MMP and not find a weapon you like, you know?
That's fair. So that being said, I feel like the beam sabers is the energy blade equivalent of medieval pack.
I would partially agree with that. I think you're pretty close there.
So that being said, isn't it a contender for legendary, or at the very least amazing?
I think it's definitely amazing. I don't think it's quite legendary due to the models really just being duplicated with different colours. And that's all that holds this mod back. Otherwise, I think it's fantastic. Especially people who are hungering for the Outer Rim and for lightsabers. There is actually pretty much the closest thing you're going to get to a good lightsaber in this pack. And they actually have actual weapons that look like lightsabers, and I think that's fantastic.
Agreed. Let's blow this into amazing, and just know it's dangerous to go it alone, so take one of these.
Absolutely. Moving on to the next one. What do we have, dude?
Oh, we have our penultimate entry for the list, and that is a quality of life one. We've been using it all video, but we'll show you quickly. That's called the Spell Wheel Enhancer.
So our final one is actually a very simple mod, and it shouldn't take as long to cover, but I think it is one of the best mods you can download for anyone. So, if we would pull up our spell wheel, usually it's hard to tell what spells are. Now with this, if the modders have named them correctly, they have names, and it actually spreads them out nicer rather than all being on one wheel. So you can see exactly what the spells do and are. And I think that is so useful, apart from me being me and forgot to rename it in my own mod. So this one is for some reason still called Fire. Otherwise,
it's like an F tier mod, bro. What was that you just threw?
That looks like an F tier mod? I don't think that looks like an F tier mod.
Oh, what? That's not even a letter. Nah, I'm just playing. That looks dope.
Boom. But yeah, I think Spell Wheel Enhancer is a fantastic quality of life, if not the best quality of life mod in the game. Absolutely. It's always awkward when you're trying to look for Sin just spawned a raven for me.
Nice. Good job, Sin.
Thank you, Sin. Anyway, so yeah, I think it's an incredible quality of life mod, and for some reason, my only problem with it is lightning is called telekinesis.
Yes, and I couldn't agree more. Almost every lightning stuff always ends up being telekinesis unless they specifically did it. And I want to say that keeps it from being legendary, but I don't know if that's too picky.
No, this is definitely legendary. It has to be legendary. There's no way.
Ooh.
There's no way otherwise I could use and know what I'm grabbing by grabbing Mystic Hands and a Lightning Spear at the same time. I think that's just so cool. And especially combining that then with Scale, you can just use... You can find the mods you want when you want them very quickly. And I think that's really useful. So, do we both agree on Legendary?
Amen.
Absolutely. And I think, is that all of our mods?
It's not, Schmitto.
Oh.
Get ready. We have one final mod on this list. And it is what it is, and it is what it isn't. It's called the Templar Wristblade.
Ah, the Templar Wristblade. Now, can I get it out the way first and say the modder who creates this is perhaps the best modeler in the whole community?
I love him.
I have to say it is fantastic. Now, the Templar Wristblade, my only issue with it, and I think everyone has to agree, is that it's not on the underneath of your arm, and that's a shame.
Let me defend him for a moment.
Go ahead.
Blade and Sorcery, especially how it is now, it only pretends like your hands are there, like from your wrist up. Yes, you could turn on player collision, but it's still not recommended. So if it was underneath and you did that, it would look weird. Like it would bend stupidly. Like it wouldn't actually track properly.
That's very true. I do have to agree. I've noticed Wooly tried to make one. It didn't turn out too well. But look how beautiful that model is.
I know, like the specular level alone, like when you put that up to light, it almost like blinds you but doesn't blind you for a moment. It's just, oh, so good. Yeah, you can turn it on in close range also because the collision is fantastic. You can use it as a slashing weapon, a stabbing weapon. You can imbue it with fire and climb. It's just, you know, I did a dungeon run with just this one, like for Assassin's Creed, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I'm struggling to do anything here. So, I think that one thing that's cool is he's got 3 versions. He's got the non-retractable ones, the retractable ones, and the ones with the extend sound. Sorry. I think that's awesome.
I mean, if you're installing the one that doesn't retract, I hate you. I hate you if you're installing that one, because the wrist blades are already in the game. So don't do that. Make sure you get either one with or without sound.
I could not agree more. I think it's very cool, and where do we put this?
That's
our final mod.
This is our final mod. So I think you should take us out, bro. I think this is up to you.
Okay, well, considering what it is, and we've been waiting for a functioning wristblade for a while, it has to go up a decent high level. But it is not quite what we want, and it is a singular weapon mod, so I think it can't go any higher than outstanding.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's amazing for what it is. It gets the job done. I think people are a little disappointed because it's not underneath the wrist, but I don't think it's the modder's fault because Blade and Sorcery. But for what it is and what it's doing, it's absolutely outstanding.
Absolutely, dude. I could not agree more. So, everyone, thank you so much for joining us in both of these tier list videos. Now, if there was any mods you think we should have included in here, please let us know, because we're always looking for new mods to feature and try out. I'm sure DLC can agree that we love hearing your mod recommendations for our videos. It really helps us generate great content for you guys to watch. Don't you agree, man?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like. Obviously, subscribe to both channels. If you've seen this video first, I highly recommend you go and watch our first half. If you're coming from the first one, thank you so much for coming over to this one, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Anyway, man, DLC, you sign us out.
Yes, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hit up all the links in the description. We will have all the mods there in each respective video. Don't forget to join each respective Discord and do all that fun YouTube stuff. But other than that, I'm Rob from Downloadable Content. This has been Schmitto from Schmitto's Army, and we will see you, well, in the next video.
See you in a bit, guys.